Someone reached out to me the other day from TikTok asking for help on how to obtain a stamped structural drawing from a licensed engineer. His renovation project has been delayed for 6 months because he removed a structural column without knowing that it was a structural component. If we haven't met, I am Wynn, an interior designer and construction project manager with over 16 years of experience in design and construction. I often seen cases like this over the years. Most home renovation fail not because the homeowner chose the wrong materials or hired the wrong trade. They fail because the homeowners didn't have a game plan with structure set in place. Every time the homeowner decided to renovate their home, they get so excited, so they start looking on the internet for beautiful images for inspiration from Instagram or Pinterest. Then they start go shopping for materials that they love, home appliances with the cutting edge technology, the fabrics, the materials, and furniture. They then call a general contractor come to the home and ask for an estimate. When the general contractor come out, and if you don't provide a clear plan for him what to build, there are two things will happen. First, he will start giving you all kind of ideas how you should renovate your home. And the ideas that he's giving you, oftentimes it was just based on his experience, what he had done for other clients, which there's nothing wrong with that. But remember, you want your own design, your own feel, your own look that fit your lifestyle. Number two, the general contractor will give you a very high estimate. Why? Without a clear game plan, the general contractor has to give you the highest estimates as possible just to protect his profit. So technically, the home renovation failed way before the construction began. They failed because of poor planning.
And here's the worst part. Construction start, they hire the profession too soon, and problems and surprises occur. This is when you start losing tens of thousands of dollars and time delay.
For those reasons, I created a community renovation planning studio inside Skool. The purpose of this community is to help homeowners with a system, structure, and clarity to help you with a better result on your project. The course has 8 modules, but today's video I want to highlight the one module that is most important of all, and that is understanding the 80-20 rules. 80% of your time will be spent on planning, and 20% is on execution, that is construction. You see the difference here. Most of the time, homeowners do the opposite. So from the interior designer's perspective as a professional, usually the planning phase is very boring because you have to use the thinking brain to think, analyze, and organize. And that's why homeowners just so excited and they want to touch and feel the beautiful materials, shop for furniture, fabrics, lightings, decorations, and which is very exciting, and I get it, but that's where things go wrong. So be patient with me here and focus your time on the 80% planning. Let's talk about the activities that you ought to do during the planning phase. So I'm going to use a kitchen space as an example because in most renovation projects, the kitchen and the bathroom are being renovated the most. Let's begin with how to identify the scope of your project. So before you start selecting beautiful materials and finishes, shopping for home appliances and furniture, or hire a general contractor, you must identify exactly what are you building by looking at what's working in your space and what's not working. Next, you want to do inventory of your appliances. decide what piece remain and what piece of appliance need to be replaced. Next, you want to study your space by locating the existing structural components, the existing water line and power. I highly recommend you keep the existing water line and plumbing line and structural components as much as you can. But of course, if you have a big budget, you have the space, you want to move the water line or the plumbing line because it gives you a better flow, by all means do it. But in my experience, in most cases, we don't have the luxury of a bigger space or the budget to move the plumbing line and the power line. So therefore, I highly recommend you to reuse the existing water line and power line and keep the structural components in place. Just like I mentioned earlier in this video, someone from TikTok contacted me and asked for help because he removed a structural column without knowing it. And the city fined him and make him stop the construction. And that's why his project delayed for 6 months, and you don't want that to happen to you. So after you collect all the information, you study your space, you do the inventory, you write down the must-have items and what is nice to have. Then next is time to work out the space planning. So in the next video, I will walk you through how to do space planning for better workflow and efficiency. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video.